We are here at Darrow Fleet, dropping barges on a Saturday afternoon. They got that's a drop barge. They gotta stick those two back in the hole, and I think that's it. Those two, and then set one over. And then we go on down to 164. But here at Darrow, nice day, steak day. Dude's out doing some fishing. There. That was an issue with my Zoom, I guess. Anyway, dropping barges here at Darrow. It was dead slack coming down here from Baton Rouge. We stopped there yesterday, Baton Rouge, and dropped some barges, and then came on down here. We got here about this morning, right about 4 or 5 o'clock this morning we got here, but it was dead slack coming down here. I come around 81 Mile Point back there, and I think I got down to 3.5, 4 mile an hour coming around the turn. It's just dead slack water down here. Low, extremely low. Extremely low water. But anyway, we've got after we get down here, we go down to 164, which is down around Brangier. Point Almost. That's Sunshine Bridge right there. And we'll go down there. What is that about? 10 miles, just 10 miles down the river. Ship over there at the, was that CF Industries over there? Fertilizer plant. I hauled some of that liquid fertilizer out of there when I was tripping for Southern. That's been some years back now. It's a beautiful day. Watching the guys fishing, and that's that rig they use to load and unload ships with. Usually they've got a ship in here. Shake him. They've been painting. They getting the head deck painted. Jesse been painting on the Tonys. But they got this boat looking good. Got this old girl looking really good. I love that brass. They got it shining. Nice day. Nice day. Yeah, I was gonna live stream this morning, coming down, but I wasn't getting really good signal with either with my Verizon or the AT&T. It wasn't really good signal, so I didn't do that. But it was pretty uneventful. Well, there wasn't much traffic. There's just not a lot moving down here. See what we had? It was that barge, and then those two were strung out right here. So we had to dig that one out, basically from that spot. So we pulled 3 out. They went and hung that one off, and then now they'll shove those other 2 back here. They're gonna shift. That's 5 long in that string, so they're gonna shift 1 over, cap it off, and then they'll wire everything up good there. And we'll go around the corner, go down 164 fleet. We'll drop more barges. We've got, I think, quite a few to drop down there. 6, something like that, I think. I was gonna look at river stages too. Yeah, see, that's how we looked coming in here. And we had drop barges, and then that's how we looked leaving out of here. Then we'll go down to 164. Yeah, we're dropping 6 at 164. So you can see we have designations. They all have, destinations marked on them. And, that's how that works. Anyway. Somebody said, was it OPL 2 of 7 miles south on Bayou Lafourche? Yeah, that's the Bayou Lafourche intakes right back there. Yeah, right there. Bayou Lafourche intakes right over there. And when I lived in Thibodaux, my senior year in high school, I lived in Thibodaux, and I lived right a block or 2 off of Bayou Lafourche in Thibodaux. Fun fact. Must have a little drift they're dealing with down there. Get some drift in those holes like that. They gotta get it out of there. It looks like probably some small stuff. I don't know. Little traffic moving around, not a whole lot. I saw it was the Quint Harris. That was what I was going to video. Uh, he got underway. Smoke Ben back there. He was going up as I was coming down around the turn, and I got him up around the turn there at 81. Anyway, but it was the Captain Quint Harris, named after the fella from my hometown that basically got all us Hobart fellas or Southwest Oklahoma fellas out here on the river. And I think I'm gonna. I talked to Quint's brother, Dakin, about uh, getting a interview, like an interview with or just a discussion, not really formal interview, but talking to AC Harris, who was Quint Harris's dad, who was the one that was friends with Buck Lay, and that was the connection that got all. That was the connection how we all ended up out here on the river. Quint started out here, and then the slew of us other Southwest Oklahoma farm boys made our way to the river. Ship coming down up there, that's what I was seeing. Yeah, here's I'm gonna answer questions. Fishing? No, I really don't do much fishing down here, but I have. Um, when people started asking me about if I fish, I went and got a little fishing kit, one of those little. I mean, it's a little rod and reel and little fishing tackle, and I carried it to the boat for about a year, and I never did use it. So no, I don't do too much fishing. Um, yeah, the Corps engineers, they're not planning. It's constantly being maintained. Yeah, the dredging, there's constant dredging going on the river. We met the Wallace McGeorge. He was headed north. It's a constant thing that they're doing. The Corps engineers, they're dredging all the time. It's not so, it's a constant maintenance thing that they do. But yes, they're taking care of yes, I mean, the Corps engineers, I'll tell you this, we brought 25 barges down at this stage of river, and in 2012, when it was that extreme low water, we couldn't have done that. The rivers, they're constantly improving the river. I'm impressed with what the Corps does to keep things going. They could always, that's back to the infrastructure and the funding and all that stuff. And we've got folks that disagree, and so there's obviously limitations of what the Corps can do. But I'm a fan of the Corps engineers. I've always been a fan. I've always been a fan. Yeah, okay. Native Indian. That was my father. He was an officer in Vietnam, and he ran a rock quarry and loaded rock barges on the Mekong Delta. When he was in Vietnam, he was worked with the Corps engineers. That's what he did. He was an explosives dude. He knew how to blow. I mean, it was used for all things, you Corps guys. But I mean, his day job was blowing up rock at a rock quarry. And then, of course, bridges and all that other stuff. But yeah, I've always been a fan of the Corps, and I see what they do down. They caught heat for different things throughout the years. Like Katrina and stuff. But those are extreme situations, and I think the Corps does. I'm impressed with what they do. I'll say that I'm impressed with what they do.
All right.
But yeah, I'm a fan. Native Spirit Indian. I'm a fan. Um, thank you for your service for sure. I was trying to see if old boy's catching any fish. I hadn't seen him catch anything. I haven't been watching them full time, but I haven't seen them catch anything yet. I see people fishing along here quite a bit off the bank. Um, I mean, in this area, I've seen people fishing quite often. Back in my decking days, that was the old Donaldsonville. It was ACBL had that fleet over there, ACL, and it was one of our stops. We used to come down here. Back in the day, it was on the Carol P. Well, all boats start out. Yeah, probably the Carol P was. I think I rode the Cindy on deck down here. I think a Carol P may have been really it. I didn't ride too many other boats down here, but the Carol P one this is on deck. I was running mate. Um, I did a lot of my decking and stuff on the Ohio and Illinois, and down here a little bit. Before I went to the wheelhouse, I was running mate on that Carol P running down here with Captain Tommy Weeks, Captain Roy Barnes. How much training did you need to push barges? That's a it was about a five. It was about no, it was. It took me, I think, a little less than 5 years from when I'd have to think this through a little bit. Yeah, it was 4 or 5 years from when I started decking till when I got turned loose. But there was some of that time I worked in the office. I'm gonna have to get my timeline straight. I'm always a little off on my timelines. What's in the barges? These are all grain. This is all pretty much grain. There's an equipment barge out there that I've had lots of questions on, but I don't know. I think it's just it is. Let's see what we got. Corn, gypsum, those are gypsum barges. They're going on down. Equipment barge, corn, rice, soybeans, beans, corn, beans. Lots of beans and corn. That's what the ones that we're dropping here are all probably beans and corn. Yeah. That's what is it? Corn. Yeah. I'm not getting what product those. It's probably corn or beans. Lots of grain. Lots of grain. Yeah. Beans, rice. Man, you'll get some of that rice. We got coon-ass cornflakes out there, y'all. Equipment and then the gypsum. So, yeah. Primarily grain. Oh man, thank y'all. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I figure I mean, I know mine's not like I don't get it. I don't even have TikTok, y'all. I don't even get into that, and I don't understand it. Um, I mean, I'm not a fan of social media at all. As I'm sitting here live streaming on YouTube, I'm saying, I guess the long form stuff on YouTube. I've always been a fan of YouTube. I was looking at stuff today. I've had my YouTube channel. Oh, I have some videos that have been up for like 16 years. I've had a channel for a while. I think I've got close to 1,200 videos up too. But I've enjoyed it, man. I mean, I really do. It's something that I'll get tired of it. I don't do it that much, but um, that shit going by. I'm a fan of. I'll sit at home and actually watch my own videos, y'all. That's kind of, but that's the thing. It's like replaying a game sometimes when I've got footage of me doing something. And my wife, she's on here. What's up, baby? Robe. She said on the chat, I think you're kind of cool too. Love you, baby. But yeah, that's what I would be doing if I wasn't videotaping this. Would be sitting here with the binoculars, looking at the ship, checking everything out. Where it's from, trying to look at the name. Cap Click, man, I'm glad you enjoy, buddy. Glad you enjoy. Kind of neat, though. Kind of neat. That shit caught it a little bit better. I get distracted. I didn't catch the boats completely passing. How rude of me. How rude. I appreciate that, Cap Click. That's pretty cool, man. I'm glad you enjoy it, buddy. Glad you enjoy it. It's neat stuff, though, man. I mean, I was telling my wife that earlier. It's on the road that I'm a fan of my peers, and I mean, I really am. I sit here and watch these guys doing their work, and uh, you know, it's neat. It's very neat. I'm a Southwest Oklahoma. I say it all the time. Oklahoma farm boy, and yeah, this stuff is. I don't think it'll ever just become totally monotonous and boring to me. It's always something I've enjoyed. Um, yeah, I've always liked the water and boats too. I mean, maybe that was me spending hours and days in hot summers out in that Southwest Oklahoma heat. Out in the dry South Oklahoma heat. That was. I thought about water a bunch. I guess that's part of the draw to it. And floating steel just impresses me. Floating steel is very impressive. I ain't seen no boys catch anything today. It's quiet. I must have traffic radio turned down. Usually I hear a little bit of traffic. I got the radios turned off. I ain't even looked at any critters on the bank over here. I ain't seen usually at this stage. Keep eyes out for critters. Yeah, I mean that's the deal. I have there's a level of appreciation I have for having a job like this. I mean, if you was a little kid and somebody told you that you'd have an opportunity to drive one of these big boats on the Mississippi River, oh my God. It wasn't something that I even it wasn't a reality to me. I didn't have any idea what this stuff was until I had buddies that did it. And even back then they would bring, well, there weren't really pictures, there wasn't any video, but I remember seeing some still pictures that they had, and it just didn't make sense. The boat, I didn't have an idea what it was. I really didn't. The first towboat that I remember seeing was the one that I caught, first one I caught, the Daniel Webster.
Jerry John McLean, 37. Come on, Jerry John. Hey, I'm assuming that's a northbound ship that I'm going to meet below Point Homeless. What you need me to do for you to stay out your way and stay above you all the way? All right, why don't you keep her running? I'm probably going to lose some speed in this turn, and we'll see if I can get by you below Homeless. Below Homeless, all right. We'll make it work, brother. All right, sounds good. I'll holler back. Get close.
That's them talking. Yeah.
172, Jerry McLean. Hey, go ahead. Hey, what do you have a tow again?
That's it.
Just 2 empties doubled up. Okay, it'll be okay for me to keep company, just be on 2 for you? That'll work for me. Right, I'll be on 2 whistles. Y'all have a blessed day. 172.37. All right, Chad, 2 whistles good. All right, we'll be on 2, buddy. All right, going on up.
That was the conversations. There you go. That was the conversations and who was talking. Yeah, that's a ship coming up down here. And that Jerry Dog McLean going around the corner. Ships. He's going to catch him, and they're both south, and so he's northbound. So they were lining up to, meet right in through there. The crew and captain pay scale. I think deck crews anywhere from. I mean, seriously, and this I'm just speaking industry wide. I'm gonna say deck crews start as low as 150, and I've heard mates that make upwards of 350. So and that's per day with benefits, and that's deck crew. I have no idea on engineers. And wheelman, the pay scale is anywhere from. I mean, extreme ends. I'll say anywhere from $600 to $1,200 a day. That's probably what. That's a good range of wheelman prices, from $600 to $1,200 a day. It's not bad, y'all. It's really not bad. I have no complaints. Well, hold on. Yes, I do. That's a lie. I've got a lot of complaints, but my employer pays me well. I'm paid well enough that I want to do the best job. I want to give them my A game all the time. I mean, that's just the way it is. And I think that they're content with that. It's a good working relationship. I've always had good relationships with my employers out here, and people. I really have, man. I think all they like. They're finishing up wiring that bar. Those two and they'll shift that one equipment barge over. That'll give us, then we'll have 4. These 2 strings, we'll have a 3, 3, 4, 4, and 3. And then that's a drop. That's one that they'll take with them. I appreciate it, y'all. I appreciate the compliments, man. I enjoy it, and if y'all are enjoying it, then there. I mean, really, this is the stuff that I would be looking at, and I just kind of rattle off what I'm seeing, and yeah, it's neat stuff, man. I mean, I like I said, I'm not so jaded that I can't appreciate how cool this stuff is. It's just really neat. And it's hard work, man. I mean, that's the thing. Those guys are out there working in the heat. I mean, but I was a farm boy. I mean, I love that. There was a part of that job I loved too. But it was hard work. I'm not gonna lie. Working in any type of weather. Yeah, I don't know how many times I remember standing out there on steel, holding steel. There's the tools you hold, metal tools, standing on steel barges in a thunderstorm. Man. And it was about, I was not going to be the one that was going to, say I wasn't going to do that. I mean, that just wasn't in me. That's the Sunshine Bridge. You can see it right down through there. They getting pretty. They had a change in orders here, so that board that they changed up at. So we're here a little longer than expected, but we did have an order change, and they're getting it done pretty quick. I thought I was gonna be sitting here on watch, but time we get that barge moved over and wired in and all that stuff, we might be getting underway before 5 o'clock. It'll be close. But then like I said, we're just going down around the corner and drop more barges and and I'm pretty sure we already have northbound. It'll be interesting run northbound, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, there was that was the deal. The boat, we had the boat that was right behind us, that was following us down, ran around there at that Tunica Bluff area, right in there, Leatherman Point, Tunica Bluff area. Or that's where, and for reference, y'all, that's right around where Angola Prison is, where Angola State Prison, or downriver, a little ways from Old River. But I think they've got some, I'm sure there's stuff on there about it, but hopefully all that'll be cleared out northbound. I don't focus. I do. Once we get through that spot, I'm focused on what's in front of me. And so much so that I really don't focus on what's, back that way. Once we're through it. Now, I will pay attention as far as stuff, the information that'll help me northbound run, but I know where I have to run on that spot, We'll deal with it when we get headed back north. Yeah, I saw there was some that went from when I got on from Lake Providence down to here. I saw some of the lowest river that I've ever seen in my career. It was definitely some of the lowest water I've ever seen. Um, that Togo, that was a lot of the reason that I got video of it, because it was so extremely low. I wanted to have, have video so I could go back and see it. Um, you know, However, the river change often, quite often. I mean, that's the deal. I've been, where we dealing with low water and it's hitting the news and stuff, and then a storm front comes through and it raises the river level a foot to where everything's not like it was, but then the news cycle doesn't catch up to it, so it's yeah. Oh, these are some company stuff, but some not. See, we get updates like that they send us on certain areas. This is all, these, some of it's industry wide stuff that we get, everybody gets, and then some of it's um, just a company. That's why I don't want to show too much of this. I mean, there's nothing on here bad, but it's company business. Yeah, but a lot of this is, see, it's talking about grounding at Tunica Bend, bumper port. Yeah, see, battle axe. All these spots are bad. Golly. I don't even want to think about that yet. So all those tracks. Anyway, but yeah, it'll be a challenging trip northbound for sure. Oh, Captain Clay, LSU just won against Mississippi State. I heard them talking about the somebody on the Fleet channel a while ago. They were talking throughout scores. Yeah, I was mean when we would be sitting there at College Town during game day. Sometimes I'd come on the Fleet channels, and it was Alabama was playing. Alabama was playing LSU there at Tiger Stadium, and I kept coming on the CCI on the Fleet channel there, Baton Rouge, saying "Roll Tide." Get these coon asses worked up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've always felt a little bit of a kinship to LSU. Number one, when I was going to school down there at Thibodeau, that was, I'll put you in, that was back in the uh, Mora and Bobby Hebert and Jim Moore era for New Orleans for the Saints. But LSU, man, I can't remember, but it was that vibe. I was like, okay, that's the teams down here. So I was, I paid attention a little bit to LSU. Plus, Thibodeau High, we were that same color scheme. We were the Tigers, had the purple and yellow. And so, yeah, man, I paid attention to LSU. That was when I became aware of Southeast Conference stuff. But that was short-lived, because obviously I went to Oklahoma State. But then, of course, Oklahoma State and the Mad Hatter that came to LSU after he left the state. Yeah, man, there's some connections. I guess a little kinship. LSU's kind of like, I don't know, my ugly cousin, I guess. I don't. Oh shit, I don't have an ugly cousin, but you know what I'm saying. That's the relationship I think I have with them. No, I've got some folks some really good friends down this area. Very good friends. Yeah, they didn't. Usually they have ship in here where they've got the ship buoys. Usually they have one there, and then they're either offloading or loading. I guess loading the coins. But guys getting it out there. Jesse, give a shout out to Jesse. He does a good job, man. I rode over here last trip. And I haven't posted any footage of that trip. I have that whole trip. I hadn't posted any footage from it um, that I rode, or very little. But that was when Captain Mike was on there. I relieved him, and I was running front watch. And then, yeah, he rides days, though. He rides a lot. I think he's riding till, I don't know. I ain't putting that business out there. Anyway, what I was getting at is the crew over here. I rode with this crew, rode with these fellows just last trip, too. And good boat. How often do they service your rig, and do you get replacement or downtime? I don't really have a regular boat. I'll kind of float around for flexibility for me and for the company. And so yeah, these boats, yeah, they go in for maintenance now and again. And last trip we were in shipyard for a week on this boat. Last trip, and it was I can't remember specifically what we had going on. I think they had dealing with something with the shaft or something. Shaft bank. I don't even. I purposely stay ignorant to the engine room stuff. They just tell me where to take it. You might have something. No. Just checking his bait. They must be. They've been there for a while, so I wouldn't think if the fishing wasn't good that they would still be there. I don't know. I just hadn't seen them catch no fish. Them guys got to be catching fish. I ain't catching them catching fish. That's the deal. Watching my guys out here.
That's a big guy northbound coming up behind you. Gonna come out with you. Wait a minute, I appreciate it.
That was the newest one. Vessel broke out starboard headboards at Mason Landing, mile 612. Lower Mississippi Rivers closed at this time. Updates will follow. That was at 0600. Yeah. It was, I'm not gonna lie, coming down that watch, well, pretty much all of them since I've been on. When you're running when in the middle of the river where there's middle of the channel, where the only water that there is, and you're getting, readings all the way across that are kind of get your attention. That's for sure. Any terrorist folks on the river? Are there? Do we have any terrorist folks on the river yet, like pirate hillbillies? No, but I will tell you this. That's something that I've always thought in my head, like as a storyline, not as me doing, but as a good storyline. But yeah, it's just. Number one, what are they gonna get? What here's the deal. Towboaters might make good money, but I don't know a lot of us that are really great with money. So that being said, I don't think the risk would be worth the reward for what they would get. Some pens, binoculars. If you want to nitpick, but I mean, why not hit a convenience store instead of a towboat? I mean, that's kind of the we're not. Nobody's on here wearing diamond rings and bringing expensive artwork. We don't have it like that. But I have, trust me, I've thought of that storyline. I've thought of a storyline of like river pirates, like you was, and you know, this was obviously I wasn't gonna do nothing like this, but just putting it in the storyline. In my head how it would be, you know, and what would they do? Well, maybe it was like they were stealing fuel, like they would, you know, get the boat and they would take it off the. That's the thing. It's a river. It's not the ocean. I mean, it's just the practicality of it is. I mean, it's just there's certain places that those crimes don't exist for a reason because, like I said, the risk versus reward. I would I would not want to go get on a towboat and decide I was going to, you know, rob them or do something like that, or you know, I don't know, commandeer the vessel. That ain't happening, man. That ain't happening. I mean, these dudes on here ain't. Yeah. No, man, that ain't happening. Um, I remember something. It was back. This is been back in like earlier, like around 9/11, around that time, and talk. I was talking to somebody. I specifically remember who it was. It was Joe Hancock. It was the editor of the town paper, my hometown paper, and something come up about security, about that stuff, and I was like, man. This is the time and some of the boats that I rode and the captains that I rode with at that time. Uh, yeah, them dudes was carrying a lot more than just a pocket knife. Well, I'll just say that. Them guys were ready. They were ready back in the day. Yeah, that's the whole deal. That was somebody said try to steal a barge. That was, I mean, being real about it. That was, I mean, I don't know. The most valuable thing would have been like fuel, and have like a tank. But how much fuel could you? That's the thing. All right, so you've got a fuel. The bulk. We're dealing with bulk stuff, and dealing with bulk stuff. You can't do nothing fast. I mean, you know, you can't. You go get a bucket full of that rice over there. I mean, you know, you can get as many bucketfuls of that as you can carry, but I don't know. That's the thing. We don't have. Yeah, we're not targets of the hillbilly pirates yet. We're not targets of the hillbilly pirates yet. But I don't want to underestimate the, you know, the criminal mind of a hillbilly pirate. So that's the whole deal. If we're not looking out for hillbilly pirates, that's when they strike. So I'm glad you got me on guard now. I am going to watch out for hillbilly pirates. Hold on. That's why I ain't seen them catching no fish, y'all. I don't know about hillbilly, but they might be coon ass pirates, y'all. I'm gonna keep a close eye on them. All right. Yeah, you can tell it's a boring Saturday afternoon if I'm talking about hillbilly pirates. The Deliverance Gang. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But you say, I mean, this is just, I've worked some jobs before that had, you know, working the oil field and stuff like that was interesting, but I mean, it's just, I think the outdoors and seeing this stuff without having to break my back, you know. When I say break my back, well, I don't have to, you know, actually doing the hard physical labor. I actually have to watch what I eat and do physical labor because my job is so sedentary. You know, generally setting, and yeah. But I will say this, man. And this is no lie, no joke. And especially when I was younger, pilot and learning and stuff, and when you've got that all, the level of stress. I've had some 6-hour watches where I didn't. I mean, right here. No, I'm not lifting anything. No, but the level of stress would I would literally go downstairs after a 6 hour stressful watch, and would sleep like a baby because I mean, you're exerted. I mean, it was almost the same. The mental and I guess the stresses that your body puts itself through and all that. It was. I mean, it was just as hard as any physical job I've ever done. Some days in the wheel or some watches I've had. I mean, it's a different type of, you know, it is hard. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely easier the older and more experience you get, the more you've done it. But I still scare myself out again. I still catch, I think I've got videos that when I steered instead of flank Togo that at the time, I've got videos of. How soon? I guess I don't get what the question. How soon do I know of freight? Does it come in at long schedule? I guess I don't like the orders and stuff. Those are constant. I mean, yeah. There's really no rhyme or reason or schedule on it. I mean, we've just email. We get constant order updates. Yeah. And like this, like we had a change on that one. That one had drop orders to go to another place, and it was corn, but the customer changed it and had it drop here. So it's a constant. Orders change, and that's an issue too. I mean, when we're pushing for a lot of different customers, and so we we'll have a change. It's happened before. We've done them rearranged and got everything put back together and dropped some barges and was ready to go, and got a call right then that no, they want us to drop another one, and we've had to rearrange everything and drop. I mean, that's just the way it works. Um, with this company and what we do, it's tramp. We're in the tramp trade, so we're pushing for different companies. We've got not all, that isn't all the time with all vessels. It's different over here, but usually on this run right here, we're pushing for various different companies instead of like a one dedicated boat that pushes just two barges of oil that go from West Virginia to wherever and back and forth. It's a little bit different. They contract this stuff out. This grain's loaded. We pick up. There's no really rhyme or reason to the scheduling or anything like that. We got like too much. I just got to move that one over. I've had a few folks ask.
26, really? What's the leave her, man? Stay with that. Thank you.
All right. I think I've got enough for this afternoon. I'll see how tonight goes. I'll try to do the live stream. We got the signals down here, and it's not too bothersome to me. And it's actually everything's kind of quiet down here, and that's the reason I don't, not anything. I don't want anything unexpected or anything like that. So. I don't unintentionally want to make anybody look bad. Not just us, but from other boats, other companies, people out here, man. I don't. That's never my intent at all.
Alright, brother, y'all give me some numbers because I can't see shit with this board.
That's that. He's talking about that. He's moving that equipment barge over. He can't see nothing. All right. I think that's it, y'all. They'll be finishing up we'll be out of here shortly. So
I got a 20 below.
that's about it.
15 to slide.
If they get that one put in place, we'll be out of here.
And the slide is